Let's say welcome everybody. Good to see everybody. We're having a wonderful time celebrating Steve Anthony Muse. Steve Anthony Muse, or our next county executive. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't already done. So this is still for real, band. We go way back. I want to call him Pastor Muse. That's how we go. And we appreciate being here for you, man. God bless you and your wife. Good to see the lovely Miss Muse. We got Johnny Steele, Debbie Steele, Shekinah Steele, and Toya Blake. You remember Toya? We go way, way back. So we're just here entertaining you. We're going to do music from all genres. We want to keep you lively, keep your pockets rolling, keep your checkbooks rolling, keep the ink rolling, and keep the cell phones going. So God bless you. We're just going to enjoy ourselves while you enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't let me miss.
And pleasure to welcome you all here this evening. We thank you, one, for your support and all that you're going to do to help see Anthony Muse be the next county executive. That's right. And I want to thank, I'm going to thank you in advance for all that you're going to give this evening. Yes. I brought my check, I put it in out there, and I'm expecting you all to do likewise. Okay? Thank you also for that wonderful music. What do we have here? Johnny Steele? Yes. Thank you. Johnny Steele. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to just take a moment to acknowledge some of our elected officials, past, present, future, all that are here. Amber Waller, former school board. Thank you. Floyd Whitaker Wilson, Prince George's County Council. Thank you. And Hank Arrington, former mayor of Sea Pleasant. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. You all know what it's like to run for office, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so you're going to have a few words with the rest of the folks that are out here tonight?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, see, I knew you would. I knew I'd be counting. All right. And to all of those of you who are giving, have given, will give, a big thank you to you. You know, when you give, it comes back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and it overflows. You'll see it 30, 60, 100-fold, okay? So I want to say thank you all for your generosity. I get the privilege now to introduce someone who's very near and dear to me and has been for quite some time, and I've got to tell you just a quick, short story. Oh, well, excuse me, before I tell you that story, I'd also like to acknowledge Richie Brooks, Teamsters Local Union number 7. In 1984, I came from New York City, where I was an anchor for Channel 7, to anchor the news for WJLA Channel 7 here in Washington, D.C. And at that time, one of my programs was the New News. And I got sick one day, and I had to stay home. So I'm there, you know, flipping the channels, checking out the competition. And it just so happened that I turned to Channel 4 at 12 o'clock. Because if I'm on the air at 12, I can't see who else is on the air, right? Up pops Pat Lawson. She wasn't Muse then. Pat, I said, girl, you better get out of the bed, put your face on, put your nose on, and get back to work. Okay? And from that point on, Pat and I had the opportunity to meet each other outside of the station, and we have many, many things in common. One of the things that's been very funny is people think that we look alike. We're not sure why. We have no clue. But wherever we go, they're like, Pat. I said, no, I'm Doris. And they'll say to her, Doris, no, I'm Pat. And so when Pat and Tony got married, I showed up at the church because I was in their wedding, and someone said, Sister Muse, Sister Muse. I said, I'll be that today. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful friendship. We've been through the ups and downs, the ins and outs, the thick, the thin, and then it was my great pleasure to celebrate the marriage of Tony and Pat. They've been a wonderful couple. They're loving. They're just loving, okay? They love the people, and that's important. And they serve the people. And so if you're going to elect a new leader after our current one is out of office, you want someone who is going to love you and who's going to serve you and to serve you well. And so with that, I want to, you all have to put your hands together one more time, because Pat has just celebrated 35 years at Channel 4. She fell out of the womb and went to Channel 4. And that's the way it is. And she's also, she and Tony have been married 28 years. And so, just applaud that. There's folks aren't staying married that long anymore. So, got to tell the truth, shame the devil. All right. So, Pat, it is my pleasure to give you the microphone.
Thank you so much, Doris. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor, a pleasure, and a joy to see you here tonight. I thank you for coming. I thank you for believing. I thank you for the work that you've already done and that you will do. My remarks are I'll keep very short, but they mean a lot to me. The phone would ring at all hours of the day and night. There would be all kinds of people on the other end of the phone asking for help in all forms, whether it was saving their homes from highways that were about to take their properties, whether it was from people who were about to commit suicide hundreds of miles away, whether it was from mothers whose sons had gotten into trouble and needed quick rescue. It didn't matter what the need was. If there was a need, my husband would get out of bed at any time of the day or night and run to their aid. And I used to ask him, I'd say, why do you help everybody? He says, honey, I only help the ones who need my help. I have watched him over the years serve his constituents in and out of the church. I've learned that there are no boundaries for him. He's a man of uncompromised compassion, limitless kindness. He's a man who's a visionary. I think of the words of Robert Kennedy, who said, some men see things as they are and ask why, and others dream of things that are not and ask why not. Those are the words, that's the attitude of a visionary. My husband is one who sees things that are and asks why, and isn't afraid to ask why. He sees things that he believes are wrong, and he isn't afraid to say, not only is it wrong, but he has the courage to say, how can I fix it? Why doesn't someone fix it? And if no one else will fix it, I'll have to be the one to try. I have seen him give of the shirt on his back and the money from his pockets, something that I had to stop very, very early on in our marriage, because his kindness knows no bounds. But I believe that there's a time and a season for everything under the sun. There's a time for planting and a time for reaping. There's a time for putting down and plucking up. There's a time for good leaders, and there's a time for great leaders. And I think a great leader is someone who not only occupies a position, but someone who sees that position as a calling, life's calling. My husband's work is not just his work, it's his calling. And I believe that Prince George's County, if I may say this, at this time needs someone who sees leading this county as a calling. NBC ethics prohibit me from endorsing a candidate. But NBC ethics do not prohibit me from endorsing my husband. And just to emphasize a point that I made moments ago, I do not support him because I'm married to him. I support him because he is a good leader. He is a great leader. He is an effective leader. He is a dependable leader. He has uncompromised integrity. He cannot be bought. He cannot be compromised. No one has to watch over his shoulder to see what he's going to do. His word is his bond. He means what he says, and he says what he means. That's the kind of leader I think the county needs now, if I may say so, in my capacity as a wife. And so I introduce to you, without further ado, C. Anthony Muse, the next Prince George's County Executive.
Wow. Let me say it again, wow. Let me say, first of all, good evening. Good evening. And I am happy that you're here, and some have come and gone, and to so many who sent in their support and could not come. To all of you, first and foremost, I want to say thank you. I want to ask you to please help me to express love to my beautiful wife of 28 years and the next First Lady, Prince George's County, Pat Lawson Muse. Come on, express it. And I was thinking as she was talking, right, I'm going back to ours, I'm thinking back to some of those days. She didn't tell you, Johnny, some of the extreme things that happened in those days. She didn't tell you about the night when I was out and there was a couple and they didn't have, and the mom, they didn't have any place to stay. And so I put them in my car and I took them home. And I went in and I said, we have company. She thought that family had come in out of town. I told her the name. She said, well, I didn't know their last name. But I said, it doesn't worry because I can take care of myself. I can take care of the house. Don't worry about that. I just want them to have somewhere. I think that's when we had a little serious conversation about where we draw the line to the boundaries. And she was right about that. When I first told her 26 years ago that I wanted to explore the area of politics, she said, okay, I believe that you have something to offer in that arena and go do that. And we've had good times, we've had some bad times, we've had some times when we said, Lord have mercy, what have we done? But she kept standing with me time and time again. And I'm thankful. And we're going on to lead the county. I want to thank my amazing fundraiser for this event. She brings to this effort, and she's so much to this effort, and she's a great lady. Miss Deborah Ross, where I know I still you because she's the one that sit with me, you know, and try to pin me down and say, you got to make phone calls. This is how many hours you have to, I said, how many hours? Yes, this is how many hours you have to make phone calls. And then she'll put the list in front of me and she says, you have to call this list. And every now and then I would see a name and I would say, no sense in calling that person. That person is not going to support me. They'll never support me. They never have supported me. And before I knew it, she's handing me the phone. She's saying, he's on the phone. Don't get it. 95% of the time, when I said hello, they said, Anthony, what's up? Oh, Anthony, hello. I'm with you. I'm supporting you. And then they backed it up. I won't tell you what the other 5% said, but the 95%, she's amazing and she's done a great job. And so have all of my staff. Great job. So have all of my staff who are here. You know them by name. I don't want to belabor the time, but I do want to thank all of our staff for what you do. You know that winning a campaign on this level is costly. And it would be good for you to also know that many of the political pundits and the politicians, Friend and others, they all agree on this. If C. Anthony Muse raises the money, he wins. That is what everyone, even those who are not supportive, they are praying that I don't raise the money, but I think I know how to pray too, to make this happen. And so your financial help tonight pushes us so much closer to that time of having victory. Yes, if we raise the money, we will win. I'm here to tell you, we will raise the money, we will win. And it doesn't matter what happens between now and then. The interim does not matter. When we get to the end and we get to election night, we shall have won. That's what's more important. I want to thank those who come before me. Our President County Executive, he's done a good job to bring development to our county, much needed. But I want to further that accomplishment by opening up the door to move to our, really more, open the door more to our small minority and homegrown businesses, as well as those who want to do business here but may not live here, but they will invest here in jobs and not bring everybody in to do the work, but they'll help us. I want to allow a fair process for our businesses to compete for contracts and not send all of the dollars outside of our county. So I want to thank you for helping us to lead our county to great things to celebrate and for helping us to lead our county to go forward and to grow. And I want to go forward. It doesn't matter what happens in this campaign. Here's what I will promise. I will not take the negative road. I don't have to take the negative road because I have a record. And if others take a negative road, it's because they have no record. And if you have no record, then that's the route you'll go. I'm hoping that all of us will put our records in front of people, let the people decide. I think that's the way we want this election to go. That's how our people would want it to go. So our county employees are treated right, because they're the ones who have to carry out the work of the... I want to hear breaking news that our citizens feel like they're customers and they're being treated that way because they're paying their taxes. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear breaking news that somehow we are not only treating people much better, but we have good things in front of us. I want to hear that, and I want our county to be able to celebrate. Sirs, I thank you for all the work that you have done. I've learned from you. I've learned from the work that you have done as elected officials. And as we go around the county, as we do this day in and day out, we have so many fundraisers that are arranged, and so many people raises that are arranged today. But because of you, I do want to close with this. I thank you that because of what you have done, as you tell your friends about us, and we come to meet your friends, I want you to know that we plan on working so hard that when we get to that date, there will be on June 26th, we will have breaking news. The citizens have elected C. Anthony Muse as the next county executive. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to know. God bless you for coming. I will not let you down. Nobody will outwork me. Please enjoy yourself. And again, thank you so very much. God bless you. God bless our great county.